Today we're going to talk about a type of text structure called cause and effect. I'm sure you've heard of it, and I'm sure you've experienced it before. We have an example here on the front cover of a person who had their shoelaces untied. The effect was they tripped and fell and dropped their lunch. So our learning target today is I can describe how the author organized the text by using cause and effect. And cause and effect is basically a type of text structure, which is how the whole thing is organized. So our question to think about is, how did the author organize the text? Think of organization as if you are organizing your clothes in your closet. Do you organize them by color? Do you organize them by type, such as shirts, pants, long sleeve, short sleeve? Well, just the same way as you would organize a closet, you can also organize the text. So the basic definition is that cause is something that happens, and effect is something that happens as a result of it. So let's take a look at a few examples here. Before we can look at some examples, though, we need to figure out what are some of our signal words. Look at your recording sheet and fill in some of the signal words that are not listed on your sheet but you see on this video. So some of the signal words that I've provided for you are if, because, since, due to, then, as a result, so, and so that. Now there are many more signal words, but we're just starting off with some of the most popular ones. And a signal word is basically a key word that could kind of help the reader realize, aha, that is cause and effect. Okay? So look at your recording sheet and fill in some of the other signal words. And I'll give you a moment to do that, or you can just go ahead and pause this video at this point. So let's try one together, but using pictures for the first one. So cause and effect, guys, you'll normally use a graphic organizer such as this, where you have two boxes, okay? And what you'll have is usually these two boxes, and there will be an arrow that takes you from one to the next. So there's going to be an arrow like this, okay? And usually the first box is going to be the cause box, and then the second one is the effect, okay? And we're going to use some signal words to help guide us to figure out and say our cause and effect, okay? So what I always want you to do when you see a graphic organizer and that's using cause and effect, I want you to fill in these words, okay? So you're always going to make a top arrow like this and write so, okay? And then you'll do a down arrow like this with the arrow going to the first box, because, okay? And this is how you can read it. So it looks like in this first box here, the person looks really sleepy. He's pouring in a whole bunch of laundry detergent. So the effect is, uh-oh, the soap suds are coming all out of the washer like that, okay? Or you can start your sentence by reading box number 2 first. So I might start my sentence by saying, the soap suds came all out of the washer because I put too much soap in, okay? So these key words, so and because, actually help you make your statement. All right, do I have any confused faces still right now? So let's see if we can practice another one. If you're not sure what cause and effect is yet, or you're still not sure how to identify it, let's do another practice, okay? Okay, here's our next one with pictures. So again, we have an arrow that's going to connect us from one box to the next. This tells us it's cause, and this is the effect box, okay? Do you remember what we're going to do next? We're going to draw the arrows from cause to effect and write so. Then we're going to draw our arrow from effect to cause and write because. Okay? And you're going to do this every single time when you have a chart like this. Now let's see if we can say the sentence. All right, I'm going to start with box number 1. So let's see. In box number 1, the baby is refusing to eat the food. So the baby throws the food on mom's head. Okay? Or let's try making that statement starting with box number 2. Baby threw food on mom's head because baby did not want to eat the food. Okay? So do you see how that kind of works? You can use these 2 very important keywords, and it'll really help you make sure that you put them in the right spot. All right, let's take a look at a nonfiction paragraph here. So the heading is Super Strength Studies. And as I'm reading, I want you to take a look at some of those signal words that you wrote down on your paper, okay? And some of the ones that I already provided for you on that recording sheet. See if you can find one signal word as I'm reading this paragraph, okay? So take a look at your signal words and try to find one signal word in this paragraph. And that's going to help us figure out some causes and effects, okay? I'm going to read along. I'm going to read and you read along with me. The Fujita scale is a common way to measure the strength of tornadoes. Although many people believe that the larger the tornado, the more destructive, that may not be the case. Scientists look at wind speed to determine the strength of a tornado, but figuring out what the speed was can be tricky. Since it is dangerous to get inside of a tornado to measure wind speed, the Fujita scale was created in 1971 by Tetsuya Fujita to rate a tornado and give estimated wind speeds by looking at the amount of damage caused. There are 6 different rankings ranging from an F0 to the strongest, an F5 tornado. All right, did you find the signal word? Try and look carefully. It's going to be probably the start of a sentence. If you found the word sense, you were correct. Sense is a signal word that's going to tell us that we have a cause and we have an effect. Okay? So when we look at our cause and effect chart in a little bit, the first box was always cause and the second one was effect. The same thing goes for our when we're finding our text. You're always going to find most of the time the cause first. Second will be the effect. So since it is dangerous to get inside of a tornado to measure speed. So here it is. It is dangerous to get inside of a tornado to measure speed. Wind speed. Now I already filled that in the cause box for you. Okay? So let's take a look at that. Okay, so take a look at your recording sheet. I already gave you the cause. Do you remember what we're supposed to do whenever you get a cause and effect box? Hopefully you're thinking, draw your arrow. So go ahead and draw your arrows on your recording sheet. Yes, this is something I will be looking for you to do. And then write so. And then draw your arrow down here, over to cause, and write because. And yes, you do need to write the words. It's going to show me that you've been paying attention and you know what to do when you're doing this on your own next week. Okay? So the cause that I gave you is it is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed. So let's take a look at the text again. We know we have the cause. Now what was the result of it? What happened Because it's too dangerous to get inside a tornado. So let's look right after it, okay? It's dangerous to get inside a tornado. It looks like the Fujita scale was created in 1971. So here's our effect. The Fujita scale was created in 1971. So go ahead and add your effect into your recording sheet now. And let's see if we say it with our signal words, if it makes sense. All right, I'm going to start with box number 1, the cause. It is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed. So, the Fujita scale was created in 1971. Does that work? It sure does. Now let's start with box number 2, the effect. The Fujita scale was created in 1971 because it is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed. Does that make sense? Yep, it still makes sense, okay? So that's why you need to use your signal words, because otherwise it'll kind of sound a little weird. So let me show you this now in reverse, and I'll show you how it doesn't make sense this way. Okay, so now I reversed the boxes just so you can see how the signal words work, okay? So this is just to kind of check it out, but you don't need to do anything with this except listen. So I'm going to start with box 1. Now it's the new cause. We switched around. The Fujita scale was created in 1971. So, it is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed. Now, that sounds confusing to me. The Fujita scale was created in 1971, so it is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed? That doesn't make sense. Let me start it with box 2. It is dangerous to get inside a tornado to measure wind speed because the Fujita scale was created in 1971? I don't think that just because of this invention, it's dangerous to get inside a tornado. I think that it's dangerous to be inside a tornado no matter what. Okay, so do you see how when we switch this around, it just absolutely does not make sense with our keywords? That's how you're able to really easily tell, did you put the cause in the right box? Did you put the effect in the right box? Okay, these keywords and the arrows are pretty much going to guarantee that you can always get it correct. All right, let's wrap up. So text structure is how the text is organized. Think about, again, the closet and how you organize it. It's basically, how does the author organize the text? Today, we discussed one type of text structure. There's actually several different ones that we're going to be discussing. We talked about cause and effect. We talked about signal words or keywords that you would see with cause and effect. And we talked about the graphic organizer. That's basically the 2 boxes with the so and because. Okay, so we talked about that graphic organizer. Now I want you to go ahead and reflect at the bottom of your paper before you turn it into the basket. You can use any of the stems from your reflection page in your binder, or you can use one of these stems. It's up to you. I just want you to write some type of reflection sentence. Either, I'm proud of my understanding of, do you now understand maybe how to use signal words, or understand the graphic organizer, or cause and effect, or what text structure is? Or, are you still wondering about something? What specifically are you wondering about? Are you wondering about that graphic organizer, the signal words, or text structure in general? Okay? All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.